In today's video, we will explore the family tree of Islam, or more precisely, the different branches that have emerged over time. Islam, which was originally founded on the basis of faith and belief, has gradually developed into various schools of thought. In this video, we will specifically look at how Islam came to be divided into two primary schools, Sunni and Shia. We will also discuss the historical background behind this division. Furthermore, we will examine how the Sunni school branched further into subgroups such as Barelvi, Deobandi, Ahl-e-Hadith, and Wahhabi. On the other side, we will also explore the different sects within the Shia school of thought and highlight some of the lesser-known beliefs that arose historically. According to Islamic tradition, the origins of Islam trace back to the very first human being, Prophet Adam. However, the religion of Islam took its present form when the first revelation was sent to Prophet Muhammad in the year 610 CE. During the lifetime of the Prophet, the Muslim community remained united without divisions. But after his passing in the year 632 CE, significant challenges arose. The very first issue of disagreement was centered on who should become the next leader, or caliph, of the Muslims. After the passing of the Prophet, one group of Muslims selected his close companion, Abu Bakr al-Siddiq, as the first caliph. However, another group believed that leadership should remain within the Prophet's family, and therefore supported Ali ibn Abi Talib, who was both the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law from the Banu Hashim clan. Those who accepted Abu Bakr as the first caliph later came to be known as Sunnis, while those who regarded Ali as the rightful successor became known as Shias. Apart from these two main groups, a third faction also emerged during the early period of conflict. This group, called the Kharijites, separated from both Sunnis and Shias, and went so far as to declare followers of both sides as disbelievers. Let us first discuss the Sunni school of thought and its further divisions. Today, around 85% of the world's Muslims identify with the Sunni tradition. The term Sunni is derived from the word Sunnah, which refers to following the teachings and practices of the Prophet Muhammad and his companions. Over the centuries, the Sunni tradition itself developed into different branches, each with its own emphasis on interpretation and practice. Let's take a closer look at these major Sunni subgroups. Within the Sunni school of thought, four great imams are recognized for shaping Islamic jurisprudence. These are Imam Abu Hanifa, Imam Malik, Imam al-Shafi'i, and Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. From their teachings emerged the four well-known Sunni schools of law, the Hanfi, Maliki, Shafi, and Hanbali schools. Focusing first on Imam Abu Hanifa, he was born in the year 699 CE in Kufa, Iraq, and was of Persian descent. In his youth, he traveled to the Arabian region of Hijaz, where he pursued advanced religious studies in Makkah and Medina. Historical accounts mention that he studied under nearly 4,000 teachers, including 7 companions of the Prophet, 93 of the Tabi'un, the generation after the companions, and many from the Tabi al-Tabi'in, the generation after them. Imam Abu Hanifa was also known for his respect and support for the family of the Prophet. Due to his stance, he faced political opposition from the Abbasid Caliph al-Mansur, who imprisoned him. It was during this imprisonment that he passed away. Today, followers of the Hanafi school are found primarily in regions such as India, Pakistan, Turkey, and parts of the Arab world. The second great Sunni imam, Imam Malik, was born in 711 CE in Medina. He belonged to a Yemeni family. His grandfather accepted Islam during the early years of the faith and later migrated to Medina, where he became a student of the second caliph, Umar ibn al-Khattab. Imam Malik is regarded as one of the greatest scholars of hadith in his era, which is why he was often referred to as the Imam of Medina. Among his distinguished teachers were Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq, both highly respected figures of their time. Today, followers of the Maliki school are primarily found in North and West Africa. While historically, this school of thought was also dominant in Muslim Spain, known as Al-Andalus. The third great Sunni Imam, Imam al-Shafi'i, was born in the region of Gaza or Ascalon in Palestine. He belonged to the Quraysh tribe, specifically the Banu Muttalib clan, which gave him a close ancestral connection to the Prophet Muhammad. Because of his strong support for the Prophet's family, Imam al-Shafi'i faced political challenges during the Abbasid era. At times, he was imprisoned under Caliph Harun al-Rashid and endured hardships. Today, followers of the Shafi'i school are mainly found in regions such as the Hijaz, Egypt, Yemen, East Africa, and parts of the Kurdish areas. The fourth great Sunni Imam, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, was born in Basra, Iraq, and spent most of his life in Baghdad. Today, followers of the Hanbali school are found mainly in the Arab world, with the highest concentration in Saudi Arabia. Apart from these four schools of law, there is also a group among Sunni Muslims that does not follow any single imam or established school. This group is often referred to as Ghair Muqallid, meaning non-conformist, as they do not adhere to one particular school of jurisprudence. These four schools of thought form the foundation of Sunni identity, and their influence can be seen even today. In South Asia, for example, mosques are often associated with a particular school of law, and people usually prefer to attend the mosque that follows their own tradition. In contrast, in many Western countries, Muslims generally pray in any mosque regardless of the school of thought it represents. In the 18th century, following the decline of both the Ottoman and Mughal empires, Muslims began to reflect on the reasons behind their downfall. Many scholars believed that Muslims had drifted far from the essence of true Islam and had introduced practices that were not part of the original faith. As a result, several reform movements emerged with the goal of bringing Muslims back to what was considered the pure and original teachings of Islam. The earliest of these in South Asia was led by Shah Waliullah Deobandi, who is often regarded as the great reformer. Shah Waliullah worked to minimize the differences among the followers of the four Sunni Imams and emphasize the importance of understanding the Quran and Sunnah directly. For the first time in the history of South Asia, he translated the Quran from Arabic into Persian and later into Urdu so that people of the region could better understand its message. His teachings influenced Qasim Nanotawi, who in 1867 founded a seminary known as Darul Uloom Deoband. The Deobandi movement is closely associated with the Hanafi school of thought and considers itself part of the broader Sunni tradition. Deobandis place emphasis on strict adherence to the Quran and Sunnah, and they discourage practices such as shrine veneration and certain festival rituals, regarding them as innovations. Among the strongest opponents of the Deobandi movement was Imam Ahmad Raza Khan of Barelvi, who is regarded as the founder of the Barelvi school of thought. Like the Deobandis, he was also influenced by the revivalist movement of Shah Waliullah and followed the Hanafi school of law. However, unlike the Deobandis, the Barelvis placed great emphasis on Sufism, the spiritual legacy of saints, and the reverence of shrines, which became central to their identity. Just as revival movements arose in South Asia, a similar movement also emerged in the Arab world, with the aim of bringing Islam back to what was seen as its original form. This movement, known as the Salafi movement, became especially active in Arabia under the leadership of Muhammad ibn Wahhab. He is often regarded as the founder of what later came to be called the Wahhabi school. Today, the majority of his followers are found in Saudi Arabia, where this school of thought has had a lasting influence. The followers of this movement generally prefer not to be called Wahhabi, but instead identify themselves as Salafi. In South Asia, they are more commonly known as Ahl-e-Hadith. This group was influenced both by Muhammad ibn Abdul Wahhab in Arabia and Shah Waliullah Deobandi in South Asia. Both the Wahhabi and Ahl-e-Hadith groups describe themselves as Ghair Muqallid, meaning they do not strictly follow any one Sunni imam. However, in practice, their teachings are often closely associated with the Hanbali school of law. They also strongly oppose practices such as celebrating the Prophet's birthday, shrine veneration, and other Sufi-inspired traditions, which they view as later innovations. Now, let us turn to the Shia school of thought. Unlike Sunnis, Shia Muslims do not follow the 4 Sunni imams. Instead, they recognize a distinct line of imams, all of whom come from the Prophet Muhammad's family, specifically through Ali ibn Abi Talib and Fatima. Broadly, Shia Islam is divided into 3 major branches: the Zaidis, the Ismailis, and the Twelvers. Up until the 4th Imam, Ali ibn Abi Talib, Hassan ibn Ali, Hussein ibn Ali, and Zayn al-Abidin, there was no significant division among the Shia. However, after the passing of the 4th Imam, Zayn al-Abidin, the first major split within Shia Islam began to appear. After the death of Imam Zayn al-Abidin, a large group of Shia recognized his son, Muhammad al-Baqir, as the 5th Imam. However, another group followed Zayn al-Abidin's younger son, Zayd ibn Oli, who was martyred during an uprising against the Umayyads. Those who considered Zayd as the 5th Imam came to be known as the Zaidis, a branch of Shia Islam still found mostly in Yemen today. On the other hand, those who accepted Imam Muhammad al-Baqir became the foundation of what is now called the Twelver Shia branch. The next major division came during the time of Imam al-Baqir's son, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq. It is also important to note that Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq holds a very special place in Islamic history. He is respected not only among Shia Muslims, but also among Sunnis. In fact, 2 of the greatest Sunni scholars, Imam Abu Hanifa and Imam Malik, are regarded as his students. This created a strong intellectual link between Shia and Sunni traditions. Along with his scholarly contributions, Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq also laid the foundation of the Jafari school of thought. It is said that the Abbasid ruler al-Mansur poisoned Imam Ja'far, leading to his martyrdom. After his death, Shia Islam witnessed another major split. Imam Ja'far had appointed his son, Ismail, as his successor, but Ismail passed away before his father. Despite this, a group of followers still recognized Ismail as the 7th Imam. This group came to be known as the Ismailis. On the other hand, the majority of Shia Muslims accepted another son of Imam Ja'far, Musa al-Kazim, as the 7th Imam. This branch continued through a line of 12 Imams and became known as the Twelver Shia, which remains the largest Shia sect today. Apart from the Ismaili and Twelver branches, another group within Shia Islam also emerged. This group is often referred to as the Seveners, because they considered Ismail, the son of Imam Ja'far, as the 7th and final Imam. Viewers, the Ismailis are regarded as one of the most significant Shia branches. The reason is that it was through them that the Fatimid Caliphate came into existence in the 10th century. The Fatimid rulers were not only caliphs, but also considered themselves imams of the Ismaili line. During the Fatimid period, the Ismailis themselves further divided into several subgroups. As you can see on your screen, these included the Mustali, Nizari, Hafizi, Tayyibi, and the Bora communities. Among the Ismailis, there were also some groups who refused to recognize the authority of the Fatimid caliphs. Instead, they formed their own sect, which became known as the Karmatians. History tells us that the Karmatians carried out shocking actions. They laid a long siege on Mecca, and in complete desecration of the holy sites, they are reported to have filled the well of Zamzam with the bodies of slain pilgrims. They are also accused of stealing the black stone from the Kaaba, an incident that created outrage across the Muslim world. Another offshoot that separated from the Ismailis were the Druze. However, most Muslims do not consider the Druze as part of Islam, since their beliefs appear to be heavily influenced by Christian and Gnostic ideas. It is important to note that among all Ismaili branches, the Nizari Ismailis are the only group whose line of imams continues unbroken even today. Their leaders are known as the Aga Khans, and their present leader, Aga Khan V, is recognized by them as the 50th Imam. On the other side, from Imam Ja'far al-Sadiq's second son, Imam Musa al-Kazim, began the line of the Twelvers. They believe in a total of 12 Imams, with the last one being Imam Muhammad al-Mahdi, who, according to their belief, went into occultation and will one day return to establish justice in the world. Viewers, just like the Fatimid dynasty of the Ismailis, the Twelver Shia branch also gave rise to a great empire, known as the Safavid dynasty. They ruled over Iran for almost 200 years and established Shia Islam as the state religion. However, the Twelvers themselves later split into three schools: the Usuli, the Akbari, and the Alawi. Among these, the Alawis are generally considered outside the fold of Islam because their devotion to Imam Ali went so far that they not only regarded him as the first Imam, but, God forbid, even elevated him to a divine status. There is also another group that broke away from mainstream Muslims and shook the very foundations of Islam. This group was led by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian, who claimed, God forbid, to be the last prophet. His followers are known as Ahmadis. While they consider themselves Muslims, all other sects regard them as outside the fold of Islam and label them as disbelievers. If you would like to explore the family trees of Prophet Muhammad and his blessed household, make sure to check the playlist shown on your screen. Thank you so much for watching.